This video is going to show you everything about open-close leg raise, why it's so good for you, why you should be using it in a routine, and how to score it 100% perfect each time, because this move has garbage detection. So let's get into it. Open-close leg raise is an ab move in Ring Fit Adventure that has you on your back on the floor, lifting your legs and bringing them out to the side away from the midline of your body. It uses the core for stability, particularly the rectus abdominis. It uses the glute med and gluteus maximus as well as the tensor fasciae latae, a small muscle on the outer side of the hips which helps with leg abduction. It's good for stability in general and decent for hip health and moving the legs, so it's definitely worthy of your time in Ring Fit. In adventure mode, this is a healing move, which isn't particularly useful unfortunately. However, it is going to be used in some of the fitness gyms. So it's really important to make sure that you know how bad the move detection is on this one. Looking at this example, you'll see that even though I'm using the same movement and angle as required by the game, it keeps jumping on and off of scoring properly, and I believe it's to do with the range of motion being calibrated in-game wrong. Most people who are doing the open and closed leg raise in the game will probably be doing it properly, according to tips and instructions. That's the proper way to do the movement. But I think the detection of this move is actually on the same level as your mountain climbers. It's just really poor. The cueing in game is good. It points out all the right things to do, but when you do the movement, it doesn't actually score it very well, which is incredibly frustrating to see. So what we're going to do right now is, first off, we're going to look at how you should be properly doing the move, just in case you're not doing it right, so you can see some good examples. That will be how to do the move properly, but then we're going to look at progressions, regressions, and we're going to look at a way that I've found to score it 100% of the time perfectly. Alright, so for open-closed leg raise, we don't need the ring, so we can just put that aside. Now, what we're going to be doing, we're going to get onto our back, so we're going to be supine, and we are going to support ourselves with our elbows, and we're going to have the upper body lifted off the ground, core nice and tight, and we're going to have our legs off the ground as well. So it's almost like a little V-sit shape, okay? So, get into position. So nice and supported with the elbows, lift the feet off the ground. You see my feet here, yes, very good. I'm wearing R2-D2 socks and a Star Wars t-shirt, so it's very much that sort of mood today. So this is the starting position, and then what we're going to be doing is we're going to open our legs, pull them out to the side, so we are abducting the legs from the middle, and then we're pulling them back in. Abducting our legs, and pulling them back in. That's essentially the entire exercise, okay? That's essentially the entire exercise. Now, keeping your legs nice and straight is important, and it's also important to keep that core tight to help support the rest of the body. You don't want to be arching with your back or, well, bending your back in any way, shape or form, sagging your legs down like this or anything like that when you're doing it properly. So we want a nice angle, 45 degrees, pull them out. You're going to feel the outside of your hips go a little bit tight. That's your tensor fasciae latae and your glute med working really well. And then you're pulling them back in using your adductors on the inside of your thigh. All right, so let's look at some alternate ways of doing this move, because if you're doing it as intended, as I've just shown, you're probably not going to get 100% on this, okay? Which sucks. It does really suck. But what we're going to do, so I find this is a decent regression for you in general, and this will help you score a bit higher. Keep your feet planted on the ground. So you can see, got our feet together, keep them planted on the ground, and then open. Still having the same upper body position, but opening like this is going to help you. It's going to help you. It's going to be a little bit easier for you. It means that you can score it better as well, and you can open up a bit more from the hips, which is really important, okay? Now, as far as a progression goes, I think this one works best, personally. And that is that instead of supporting your body up here, we're just going to lay our body to the ground, okay? And then lift your feet up and open. Now, I was finding this was scoring 100%, and it's more difficult because it's using the hips a bit more, and there's more core support needed. So, like that. Very good. Core nice and tight. Bring them in. You're good. Progressions and regressions. This is an alternate. Now watch this example of me scoring 100%. Okay, So in order to do this, we've got our feet together, but we've got them lifted off the ground. So we start, lift off the ground, hold. So feet still touching, but we've got our legs open at that same sort of angle that we would do if we had our legs straight. And then we close. You can put your feet out as well. I like to call this frog legs. And then come back in and start again and go. Bring it to the middle, open, push. Almost like breaststroke, leg stroke. So yeah, frog's legs. So as you can see, that shows how to do that 100% perfect each time. Now, if you want a full video of me doing a set of 20, then let me know in the comments, I'll get one up for you. But the point is, that's how to do it properly. Now, doing it via that method still opens up your hips, and it rotates a little bit more of the hips, so you are still using the tensor fasciae latae, the glute med, they're still getting work, it's just not quite as wide a range of motion. And look, to be honest, the standard way is still better for you in general, but if you're in a fitness gym and you want to make sure that you get 100%, this is still going to be a viable option. And it can work as a regression as well. So yeah, it's definitely worth considering for you. As far as other fit skills go, thigh press or thigh rider are great complementary moves for its leg adduction movement over open and closed leg raises, leg abduction. Leg scissors work in a similar range of movement but quicker, and leg raise in general elicits a similar response from the core and is perfectly poised to help build the ability to bring the legs up and keep them raised for the duration of the open and closed leg raise. So that's everything you need to know for the open closed leg raise. I really like the move, and I think it's good to use the hips in a different way. It trains the muscles on the outer hip as well, but it has some of the worst move detection, so I hope these tips I've given do well for you. I've honestly found that for this move, my average for a set of 20 has gone from the low 50s to 100, which is awesome. And yeah, I can't recommend it enough. I think it really works, especially because it's a similar range of movement and similar muscles used. So definitely give it a go. As always, please like, share, subscribe for more Ring Fit content incoming. And if you like this sort of stuff, I just want to let you know that I've just opened a Patreon page where you can support me and get some behind the scenes stuff, some early access as well to some playlists and other videos coming up, as well as at the higher tiers, I'm actually offering a special rate for my online coaching. So definitely worth considering if you want to, if you want to get more stuff like this. But yeah, no worries. Thank you so much for your time today. I've been Master Trainer Peter, and I'll see you soon.